Hello. As you can see, we're in a bit of a graphical mess, as our guest this week keeps fucking exploding. So here I am, saving this episode. They don't pay me enough for this shit.
Hello one and all, welcome back to the Waiver Wire show, your weekly show where we make you question all of your drafting decisions you've ever made. I'm Spastic One, your host. This week features yet another electric type, so let's skip the formalities and roll right in. This vote was really close, but in the end, we're talking about a Pokemon introduced in the very first generation, Electrode! First order of business, let's talk about some stats, and hopefully it won't explode on our face. It has an HP stat of 60, an attack of 50, defense of 70, special attack and special defense of 80, and holy fucking shit, a speed of 150! What in the... oh, you know what, we'll talk about that later. This possessed Pokeball is of the electric typing, but nothing else, which lends it some very basic coverage. Offensively, it covers water and flying, and defensively, it can handle electric, flying, and steel. Nothing too fancy here, just like its design. Seriously, an upside down Pokeball with eyes? Simple, yet ingenious. So, this thing is blisteringly fast, easily the fastest thing we've talked about in Waiver Wire ever, so why should we draft it? Let's talk about some pros. As we said before, this thing is fucking fast. With the additional 10 points of speed that Electrode got in Gen 7, it is tied for the 4th fastest Pokemon in the game, while being one of the fastest Pokemon available in the GBA. It ties with a few others, while only being outsped by a fucking ninja bug thing? I don't know how to describe ninjas, but whatever. Electrode provides some great utility for its team. It has access to a few very useful utility moves that can greatly support its team, such as Rain Dance, Dual Screens, Taunt, Toxic, and Thunder Wave, or even Torment to mess with choice item users. And with its blisteringly high speed, it's very likely to move first, outside of some choice scarfers and prankster users. It also has some very nice abilities. Aftermath is fun for getting damage off on strong physical attackers, especially with Electrode's low defense stat. Static is another fun, albeit riskier, ability to potentially slow down some physical attackers, while Soundproof allows Electrode to outright negate sound-based moves like Boom Burst, Parting Shot, and Roar, giving your team some more valuable utility. So these are great, but why did nobody draft it? Well, for starters, Electrode is very limited. Outside of its utility value, its offensive move pool is pretty shallow. I'm sensing a meme here. Its average special attack means that it will struggle to 2-hit KO water or flying types with even a little bit of extra thickness. Its stats are also kind of lackluster. With its mediocre bulk, even resisted hits are going to hurt, with ground type moves able to easily OHKO it outright. It's even going to face problems from priority users, as Electrode has no access to priority attacks itself. And as stated earlier, with its mediocre special attack, it's going to have a hard time taking things out. And the biggest problem that Electrode has is that it has an exceptionally short fuse. Electrode will explode for literally any f***ing reason. Throw it against a wall? Boom. Do you look at it funny? Boom. Do you make a comment about its rotund figure? Boom. Do you complain that it has such a simplistic design and looks like a ghastly with a grin? Boom. So if you're walking around any abandoned power plants or an evil team's secret lair and you see an upside down Pokeball on the ground, do not touch. It's probably an Electrode waiting to... oh shit.
Now what, Mr. Big Shot Analyst?
I guess we just clean this up and move on to some sets? I guess?
I'm not cleaning this up until you fucking pay me.
Alright, now let's try and get through these sets before it explodes again. So our first set is just a very simple Rain Dance Thunder special sweeper. With Rain Dance to give you a 100% perfect accuracy Thunder. Thunder because you want to hit harder, because Electrode's already struggling as is. Hidden Power Ice to take care of those pesky ground types that want to try and switch in. and Volt Switch to get out of dodge if need be. Running the Life Orb to get as much power as possible. It's frail, it's going to die anyway, so And running the Soundproof ability to prevent some other moves, like prevent you from getting roared out. Running 252 in speed and special attack with the Timid Nature. This is your very basic offensive Electrode set. Next up, we have a support Electrode with Volt Switch, dual screens, and taunt. We're running Volt Switch so it's not total taunt bait, so if you do get taunted, you can switch out. Running dual screens to give your team some support, but we're running the Focus Sash instead of a light clay because you want to potentially get both screens up. And then if you know your opponent is going to try and set up hazards on you, you can taunt. Ideally, you want to go in against a physical attacker so you can take out some damage with Aftermath. You're going to die, so let it be for a good cause. Let it be worthwhile. We're running 252 at HP to maybe make sure it lives, and then running 252 in speed with the... Why is it Jolly? Why is... Okay, fine. You know what? Oh, that's right, because there was going to be Explosion here, but oh well. Alright, so we're running Volt Switch instead of Explosion. Cool, there we are. But our final build set focuses on the pure exploding rage that is Electrode. First off, we're running Endure to ensure that we get hit and we go down to 1 HP, because the Custap Berry will be our item of choice. It ensures that we move first in the priority bracket outside of extreme speed, but oh well. And hopefully your opponent does not protect. We're running Static to try and paralyze them if they get a physical hit. If not, we can Thunderwave them and they can watch paralyzed, hopeless, helpless, as you prepare to explode. Now you could potentially click Rage if you know you're gonna live a hit, but you know, get that rage, get that attack bonus, get that powerful explosion, and then finally, when all is said and done, explode in their face. Running 252 in attack and speed with the Adamant Nature because you're already going to out-prioritize them, so no need to run full speed on that. And that completes your daily Pokemon sets. So that is going to conclude this week's edition of Waiver Wire. Be sure to tune in next week when we poke fun at yet another Pokemon. The straw poll is going to be in the description below. Be sure to vote. Your choices for next week are Emboar, Typhlosion, Primarina, Samurott, Blastoise, Venusaur, and Meganium. We're showing some love or not to some starters, so be sure to vote on who you want to see next week. Until then, I am Spastic1, thanking you for tuning in and signing off.
I'm still waiting to get paid, you nitwit.